There's nothing like a good campfire whenever you're sitting around talking with your friends and family on a cool summer's night. But what if you're in a survival situation and you don't know how to make a fire? Firebuilding is a very essential survival skill that everyone should know how to do. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys 3 different methods of firebuilding, such as this nice little log cabin right here. So let's get into it. Alright everyone, real quick before we get into the firebuilding, I need to talk about the different parts of your fire. So, over here you have your kindling. This is like what actually starts your fire. So, you can start it with like you've got your leaves, you've got classic dryer lint, paper. You can mix like these two together, makes a really nice fire starter. Also, I found that Vaseline cotton balls work really well as well. So, there you go. Also, so the next part is your kindling. So this part is what gets your fire going. So this starts the fire, this gets it going. So you have your like nice little twigs and whatnot. You've got smaller stuff, you got a little bit of bigger stuff once the fire starts going good. So then finally, once your fire gets going nice and good, you can start adding your fuel. This is the last part of your fire, and these are just smaller logs so they'd fit into frame. So this stuff is what you do, is what you add to the fire once it has gotten big enough so that this stuff just doesn't burn out whenever you throw like big stuff like this on. Alright everyone, the first type of fire I'm going to be showing you guys how to make is the log cabin fire. I have a big example of it over here on the right, so you can look at that if you need any guidance. So first, start off, you want to get your big ball of tinder and whatnot. I'm not going to use all this, probably about that much to get the fire started. And we're gonna take some of our bigger logs, like our fuel here, we're gonna take those and we're gonna stack them in you want 2 ones like this parallel, and then you want another 2 like this parallel like this. So then you have your fire like this. So next you want to take like your little small sticks, you want to stack it around in there, so that you also want really nice dry stuff like this, dead stuff. It burns really nicely. So you want to take this and you want to kind of pile it in there on top of your tinder, but leave a nice little spot so you can actually get in there and work with it so that it lights good. So once you have like a decent pile in there, what you want to do, you want to take your fire starter, which I'm just using a simple flint and steel here. You want to get down in there. So we got our tinder burning, and our kindling is starting to catch a light now. So I'm gonna let this burn for a little bit. See you guys then. Hey, whoa, you're not supposed to see this. Alright everyone, it's been a few minutes. I got the fire going nice and good. So once it's at this point, you can start adding your bigger stuff, such as these big sticks like this. Start adding them in, get them going nice. Don't like stack it too much on your fire, otherwise you'll smother it out. And that will not be good, because you might only have one shot at building a fire in a survival situation. So every chance you get to strike a spark and get it going, you want to take that opportunity to get your fire going good. Alright, I'm gonna let this go for a little bit. See you guys then. Okay guys, once your fire's gotten big enough, then you can start to lean some of these bigger sticks up against the sides of your log cabin so that it'll burn nice and good and it'll make you a nice big fire. Alright everyone, once your fire gets going nice and good like this, you can start adding your fuel, such as like these big logs right here. Just want to lay them across like this so you don't smother the fire. And once these catch, you can add some bigger stuff, such as stuff like this. Okay everyone, the fire's not to this point yet, but once your fire gets burning right down there, like the coals like that, that's prime cooking fire right there, because you don't want the flames, because that's just going to char whatever you're going to cook. So you want to cook on these coals, because like my finger's really hot right there. So those coals are burning really nicely. That's great for cooking stuff. Okay, the next fire I'm going to show you guys how to make is the teepee. This is probably the most recognized fire across the nation. This one is the one you'll see in like movies and stuff. It's extremely simple to make. So you take, this is just for demonstration purpose, just because these are big ones. You stack your stuff up like this. This isn't really a teepee per se, but like that. You stack all your stuff up. Try to be careful not to knock it over. Then once you get all this stuff, you make one moment place. So once you get your teepee shape, you just want to make your fire underneath and then pile this up. Get your tinder like I showed you guys for the log cabin. You put it under. Okay, we're just gonna continue. Anyway, so what you do, you put your tinder under, you light it. These sticks are a little too big for this, but this is just for showing you guys that fire. And then you light that, and once that gets burning good, you put your fuel on, and then it all burns up into like a nice teepee shape. Okay, so the last type of fire I'm going to show you how to build is the lean-to fire. Now this is good for windy conditions, but only when the wind is going a certain direction. So the wind's going against here, it's just going to go up and over your fire, which is ideal in like mountainous areas. So this fire is extremely simple. You find like log or something. This is just for demonstrations. You just lean your smaller stuff up against the fire like this, preferably not bent ones because they just go down like that. You want to line those along the edge of your log like this and do that. I'm just going to do a small section here. Then you get your tinder, you get it under there, and you then break your small twigs, you light it, you get that started, and then once all this gets going good, now in a real scenario all this would be covered and then you have like all this would have to get going first. But then once this finally gets going, you can take your bigger stuff like this, stack it on there, and this fire will burn all night. This is a good fire for, like I said, windy conditions. It's also very nice for like backpacking trips when you're like, you know what, I don't want to build a fire ring. I just want to make a fire against a log. So that's it for this one. Alright, the last part of building a fire is once you're done with it and you want to make sure that your fire is completely out. So the way to do this is still burning. So take your water, pour it all around. Make sure there's no embers left, because if there's embers, you can still have a fire go back up. So then you want to stir it around, make sure get all the embers out of this fire. And then whenever you do that, like see, there's still more in this little log right here. Want to get those out. Get those out. And then take the back of your hand and feel over the fire. If it does not feel hot anymore, your fire is out. This fire, there's no more hot spots. There's no more embers of any kind. So this fire is out. Alright, I want to thank you all so very much for watching this episode. God bless you, and good night.